When was the last time someone hurt you? Perhaps it was a word spoken in anger, a betrayal you didn't see coming, or a deep wound that feels impossible to heal. Now, let me ask you another question. Have you forgiven that person? Take a moment to reflect on this. If the answer is no, then what's holding you back? And if the answer is yes, then how did it change your heart? Forgiveness isn't easy. It often feels like the most challenging thing we're asked to do. But forgiveness is also one of the most powerful acts we can ever choose. It's not just a gift we give to others, it's a gift we give to ourselves. Forgiveness frees us from the chains of anger, resentment, and pain. If we choose to forgive, then we choose healing over hurt. Imagine a man named James. James was betrayed by his closest friend, who spread false rumors about him. For years, James carried bitterness in his heart. It consumed his thoughts and affected his relationships. But one day, he decided to let go. He prayed for the strength to forgive and reached out to his friend with a heart of reconciliation. What do you think happened next? James didn't just restore his friendship, he found peace within himself. If James had held onto his anger, then what would his life look like today? Forgiveness isn't about justifying the wrong that was done to us. It's about releasing the power it holds over us. If we cling to anger, then it controls us. But if we forgive, then we regain our freedom. Consider the words of Jesus when he taught us to pray, "Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us." If Jesus, who bore the ultimate pain on the cross, could offer forgiveness to those who wronged him, then what does that teach us about the power of forgiveness? Let me share another story. Mary was estranged from her father for years because of a painful childhood. She carried resentment like a heavy burden, but it weighed her down more than she realized. One day, a friend encouraged her to write a letter to her father, not to excuse his actions, but to express her forgiveness. When she sent the letter, something remarkable happened. Her father responded with an apology, and their relationship began to heal. If Mary hadn't taken that step, then she might never have experienced the restoration that followed. So, I ask you, what step toward forgiveness might you take today? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing to move forward. Think about Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, who denied him 3 times. After Jesus' resurrection, he didn't condemn Peter. Instead, he forgave him and entrusted him with a mission to lead others. If Peter had remained trapped in guilt, then how could he have fulfilled his calling? And if Jesus forgave Peter, then what does that say about his willingness to forgive us, and our calling to forgive others? Now let's talk about the healing power of forgiveness. Studies have shown that people who practice forgiveness experience lower stress, improved relationships, and better mental health. Imagine a young woman named Clara, who forgave her former boss after being unjustly fired. By releasing her bitterness, she found the strength to pursue a new career path that brought her joy and success. If Clara had held onto her resentment, then she might have remained stuck in anger. But because she forgave, she discovered a new beginning. Forgiveness is not a one-time act, it's a daily choice. Every time anger or bitterness resurfaces, we must choose to release it again. So, how can we cultivate forgiveness in our lives? Start by praying for the person who hurt you. Pray for their well-being and for the grace to let go of your pain. If prayer feels too difficult, then start small. Write down your feelings, talk to a trusted friend, or meditate on scripture that speaks of forgiveness. Now, take a moment to think about this. Who in your life do you need to forgive? What hurt are you still holding on to? If you choose to forgive today, then how might your heart begin to heal? And if you don't, then what might the cost be to your peace and happiness? Let's remember that forgiveness is an act of faith. It's trusting that God will handle the justice and that our job is to release the burden. As Colossians 3 verse 13 reminds us, bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. So, I leave you with this. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's strength. It's not about the other person, it's about your freedom. If you choose forgiveness, then you choose healing, peace, and a brighter future. What choice will you make today? Will you carry the burden of anger, or will you set yourself free? The power to heal lies in your hands and in your heart.